6. Timing is perfect. You have come literally at the perfect time because something just transpired. Tonight's conversation over the past weekend, Kitty, Keita, Randi, Ace Metaphor, Trip, everybody's been having conversations on TikTok. We see Keita, I believe, trying to post a 50-part series trying to expose Ace Metaphor. What was your personal experiences on tonight's conversation, Six?
My personal experience on tonight's conversation was one I'll never forget. I've never been so disrespected as I have on tonight's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to even focus too much on Keita's series. I don't want to focus too much on Randi.
Yeah.
Because they're simply a product of the man that leads them. When everybody want to be the leader because it sound fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want the glory of the leader. Mm-hmm. I want everyone to see me. Mm-hmm. I want all of the blame when things go good.
That's right.
And then what people better realize about being a leader is when things go awry, it's your fault. Yeah. It doesn't matter. You can't blame the people you're leading. Mm-hmm. You can't blame the people underneath you. You want the glory and the attention of being the leader. Mm-hmm. You can have that. But when it goes left, that's also on you. Mm-hmm. Ace Metaphor is just a weak bitch ass nigga. There's no other way around it. Mm-hmm. People have to understand this. I'm going to give you all the backstory on why I say that. And Ace is the example that no man present is better than a weak man present. A weak man present puts everybody in danger, okay? You're better off having it ran by all women or a strong man. Mm-hmm. But a weak man, don't even have that be the option. When Ace first came to me to go on to tonight's conversation, I knew exactly why he was, because it was during a time where I was going viral on Hardly Initiated when they asked me the question about if a man is not financially confident, will he tend to go for a bigger girl? So when a man is financially confident, pocket full of money, he's out and about, one woman is 300 pounds, one is 150 pounds. Who is he going to go for? The 150-pound woman, period, right? We're not even going to sit here and debate that. We can talk about preferences, but even our preferences are rooted in something. Everything you prefer it usually because of your circumstance. So that was a question that was asked. You know, I gave my answer on the show. On the interview where I went viral. So then shortly after that is when Ace ended up coming to me to come on to the show. And I was hesitant because my instinct told me I was going to get thrown into the lion's den. Now, me, just in general, outside of tonight's conversation, I don't work well with other women at all. Every single panel in my content creator career, every single panel or anywhere I've been where there have been other women involved, and I'm shit you not on my dead mama on everything I love. Every single time, even when I come in respectful and professional, all the women end up banding together to like all jump me in a way. So I knew going into tonight's conversation full of hyena women, I knew me and them more than likely are not going to jail. Now, I'm the type of person, what you say on your content is your prerogative. What you say to a camera is your prerogative, but what you say to me is not. So for the girls, when I went on to tonight's conversation, the girls felt like since my content was being mean, telling women the truth, that it was okay to be mean to me in my face. It turned into an audit of my ministry, which is not what I came there for. I'm a professional. When I go do content, I'm going to show up, I'm going to do my job, and then I'm going to go home. I'm not doing the back and forth. I don't come on panels to dominate the conversation because there's multiple voices that need to be heard. I don't come on to say, oh my God, let me come, verbally attack this person because I've decided that I don't like the way they do their content. So Ace and I had a conversation before going on. And I told him, I said, I do feel like you're getting ready to send me into the lion's den for content. And so I was like, we're going to need to come up with a good price. If you're, because he tells me none of that is going to happen. Everything is going to be fine. And I'm like, you're saying that, but you have people that are on your payroll that have already made content about me, have already dragged me before even coming. And I only brought that up to him because I was being gaslit when I told him, like, I feel like I'm being thrown into the lion's den. His response was like, whatever are you talking about? So I was like, okay, well, we can play this game if you want to. I said, well, for example, Keita has specifically done a video about me. It wasn't on my talking point. It wasn't on the issue. I said most of her video was calling me stupid, dumb, crazy, and everything else. So I physically have seen, and I know for a fact you have people that work for you that do not like me as a person. I don't have confidence in this woman that she can hold her emotions together and be professional. She doesn't give me that vibe. She always had a crash out vibe. She gives me the vibe of a girl that grew up maybe in a very critical household or a very abusive, screaming and yelling household. That's why she feels like she has to scream and yell all the time. Like she just screams, look at me, please validate me. I'm here. Almost like she battles with feeling invisible or low self-worth. So I said, but never did I think it would be as bad as it ended up being. So he tells me, oh, don't worry, I'll talk to her about that. I said, no. I said, I am proficient in ain't shit bitch. If you as a man go to her and tell her, I am bringing this guest, you will respect her. You will control your emotions and you will be professional. You going to tell her what to do, she's going to specifically do the opposite. If you just say nothing, this is a conversation between me and you, and I'm only bringing Keita up because you're playing in my face as opposed to let's have an honest conversation and say, yeah, I do have people that work for you that don't like you. Yeah, I do. But I do want you to come on because I want your opposing view. Instead, you try to gaslight and say, no one has a problem with you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not bringing up another woman as in intimidation. I'm bringing it up to prove my point because you're acting like I'm crazy when I'm telling you that people don't like me here. So, but I said, this was not for you to go back and tell her. I said, so give me your word that what we talked about today is between me and you only. Do not say anything to them. You're going to plant a seed. If you as a man say, you going to bring me to your platform and it's going to be all right, we're going to leave it there. Then it's going to be all right. Do not go say anything. If you don't say nothing, we have a higher chance of just keeping it cool and getting through the episode. You are planting the idea to have a problem. So he gave me his word that it would stay between him and I. He wouldn't say anything to her. I fly out from Atlanta to Ohio, right? I get to the airport, we get on the plane. I should have known when I got on the plane that I shouldn't go. You know why? Because this was the smallest plane I've ever seen. I didn't even know planes could be this small. It was like I have never seen a plane so small. It was like 2 seats on each aisle. It was turbulence the whole way. I swear to God, at one point, the plane was shaking so bad, I was like, God, do not let me die.
I can't go out like this.
For a podcast. I'm like, Lord, please, do not take me out like this. I got things to do. So I'm on the plane, right? The plane rocking. I'm like, I probably fucked up. At this moment, I'm on the plane like, at this moment, I knew I fucked up here. I wanted to go to the pilot and be like, turn this motherfucker around. I fucked up. So I'm contemplating my whole life on the plane. And then we land in this little ass town of Dayton, Ohio, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I get in the Uber, get there. We start filming. And what did we film? We filmed one conversation first that I believe was more so about homosexuality. Then we filmed the second conversation, which was about the weight issue. Now, there's another content creator named Mr. Let Go. Mr. Let Go was married for many years. He has children. He has older daughters. And I noticed that during the first conversation, Mr. Let Go was acting as a buffer between myself and the other ladies. I noticed because he knows, I feel like he knew like these bitches aren't going to like sex. So it's almost like he was shielding me in it. Like such a good friend. It's almost like he felt it. And every time he felt the hyena's fangs getting ready to come out, he would kind of redirect the attention to him. And so I'm peeping it throughout, and it's making me feel really safe, and I'm feeling really comfortable. So when I first was filming, I thought this was going to go well because we initially had plans to film maybe 4 or 5 different episodes. So I'm like, okay, this is not so bad. Ace peeps this. He sees that Mr. Let Go is acting as that buffer. He sees that he's keeping it copacetic. So I should have known that something was about to go left because by the time he brought Randi down, he takes Mr. Let Go off. So at that moment, I kind of was like, that was weird, but I'm assuming the best still. So we start the second conversation. Ace comes forward and says, the question, which was, when a man is not financially confident, does he go for a bigger woman? And I said, yes. I said, because humans in general are predatory. Children are predatory. Have you ever seen a child be with one person and act a fool? Yep. But then they get with someone else and be like, oh, I can take advantage of this person. Then they act like an idiot. Yeah. All humans are predatory. We're born that way. It's a survival thing. Humans naturally will seek where they can compete and win. That's the way it goes. So we're not going to, I'm not a we are the world type of person. I'm a very realistic person. People are predatory. Absolutely. So yes, if a man is not confident in himself financially, people don't understand. It's literally a scientific thing. It has been quite literally scientifically proven that when a man is hungry or when a man is poor, in his subconscious mind, he will decide to go for a woman that's bigger. It could also be according to where you are geographically. Because you have some people that say, well, I know men that have lots of money and their wife is big. And I'm like, yeah, in Mississippi, a man that got rich off farming in Alabama, because he needed a big bitch to pull that plow. He needed a big bitch to help round them horses. Can't have no skinny girl in there. How you got to be able to pull that truck? You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand why in the country, why you see men with bigger women. You got to pull the plow, baby. We need help. We got farmland. Where when you go to Manhattan, the men have smaller wives. Why? Because you won't be able to fit at dinner between the tables in the small New York upscale restaurants. Every man chooses based upon where he lives and what he's doing. But see, the problem is, people like Keita and Randi, the reason I knew we weren't going to gel is because they make their living off of telling mediocre women that they're better than what they are, that they deserve things they haven't worked for, that everything else is someone else's fault. Every time you turn around, Keita and Randi are making videos like, yes, and know your worth. If you sat and poured into that person and they did not pour into you, that is their fault. And you need to know your worth and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Just shut up. But that's what people seek. I don't want to seek someone who tells me I ain't shit, who tells me what I'm doing wrong. No, I want to go where I am comforted, to be where I'm a lazy, undisciplined person. And I want to go, who's going to tell me that I can do the less work? So Keita and Randi, they're there for you. They are there for you every time you ain't shit, to sit and tell you that it's someone else's fault and to be so blind to your own problems. The way that they have so much content like about mean girls and mean friends, it is such a projection because they're the main, mean girl. So seeing everything happening with the show falling apart now, it simply makes sense to me because energetically, this is what's going to happen. It's a bunch of male and female hyenas that are going to do what eventually? Eat each other. They're all eating each other. They're destroying one another. And I'm not surprised that it happened. So back to the podcast. So Ace asked a question. I give my answer. And I said, I absolutely think that when a man is not, financially confident, he'll go for a bigger girl. And Randi, now keep in mind, when y'all see clips of me and her interaction, I want you to understand they've been edited, okay? They changed what she said. Keep in mind, me and Randi had never had a single interaction. I had never disrespected this woman, never said a word to this woman. Prior to filming, I did not disrespect her. I did not bother her. The first thing out this girl's mouth is she looks at me and says, disrespectfully, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Disrespectfully.
She says, she looks
not
me.
Respectfully, but
not respectfully. Now, they edited to take out the dis part in front of respectfully to have it show her saying, respectfully, it's the stupidest shit I ever heard. No. She looked me in my eye and said, disrespectfully, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
It's a lot of aggression.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow, you must be the president of my fan club. Wow, you must have been up all night hating me. Boy, I know, boy, y'all probably got a voodoo doll. Like, ooh, you really meant that. Boy, y'all was probably all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about me coming through here the way y'all probably huddled together like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, and when she gets here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell her she's stupid. Yeah, well, that's a good one. Like, what did y'all do? Have a basic bitch meeting? You know what I'm saying? A meeting of the basic bitch minds? Because this was clever. I really love that for y'all. You really got me there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? Never in my life have I experienced that on an interview. You know what I'm saying? And on an interview, on a panel, I've had girls, jump me on panels, but to look at me and be like, and then I'm like, I'm so glad I changed my life because I struggle with that. I was bullied a lot growing up. I've been bullied, jumped. Women always team up on me, and that's why I am the way I am. Sometimes people be like, oh, Six, you can't be ready to fight. You can't be ready to. No, I have to be that way. You don't know the shit I go through. I go through wild stuff. And that's how I know that 9 out of 10 bitches ain't shit. A woman is so cool until she come in front of a woman that she feel can compete with her. And then all of a sudden, all that girl shit go out the window, which was exactly how it was with Keita and Randi, because Randi kept saying stuff throughout the podcast like, not everyone can look like that and look like you. And I'm like, wait a minute. How are we having a general conversation about weight? Why are you now pointing out my body as some type of example? I didn't come here for that. Now, if a man would have did that and we would have been having a general conversation about weight and a man would have said, not everyone can look like this with this body, y'all would have said that he objectified me, sexualized me. Oh, why would he? That was weirdo. But the self-proclaimed girl's girl sits and puts my body on display as some example of whatever you felt it should be in this conversation. Mm-hmm. So she looks at me and says, disrespectful is the stupidest shit I ever heard. And so I kind of got quiet for a minute because I have to pray, because I have been working on a relationship with God to help me not go back to that dark place of always having this happen. Yeah. Every time I get around girls and I try to be, respectful, and even whether it's to be friends, whether it's a professional environment, and to see women always meet me with that energy of, So when I saw them gang up and she's like disrespectfully, I start seeing black. I have true PTSD from shit I've been through with women. So I have to pray to God because I'm like, I want to get up, pick up the chair. That's how my mind goes. I've been jumped so many times to where if I even think bitches is honing in on me, what can I pick up? Yeah. I'm going to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna pick up the chair and knock all y'all ass out. I'm gone. Like I'm not. We're still filming though, right? So she's like, disrespect, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm moving in my chair like, okay. You're right. Right. In my head, I'm like, stay calm. And then I'm in Dayton, Ohio. I can't go to jail in Dayton, Ohio. I can't go there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does jail in Dayton, Ohio look like? Oh, it's probably not where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm weighing my options in my head. I'm like, bitch, all I know is you can't go to jail here. Okay. We ain't even in a big city. You might not make it up out of there. So I'm like, but looking back, my regret is I should have had more respect for myself. That why would someone look at me and say disrespectfully, that's the stupidest shit. Why did I leave? Why did I still stay there? And that showed me I have more work I have to do. I try to take every situation I go through and figure out, what did I do? You know what I did? I stayed in an environment where I was not being respected. Why did I do that? Maybe because that was what needed to happen for God to slow my roll and say, you think you know it all, but you really got a lot more work to do. That, to me, that was God's way of saying, look at you. You thought you had it. You don't. That was an easy test. You should have got it immediately. Why would you even continue to talk to someone who has literally looked you in your face and said, everything I'm about to say is for disrespect? And I sat there. Wow. So I think, to them it might have seemed so funny, like, oh, we got her, but nothing was funny to me.